Back when I started this project, I took a little time and sketched out some thoughts I had. And this is the little sketch. So you can see the bottom thing is something I haven't started yet. Well, I did start it yesterday. So I don't know if we're going to call that. It's like a storage area and it adds a lot of design to the foosball table. So I did start it yesterday. I decided to, where we have this step up, I decided to go a 1/2 inch variation. Now, what I ran into is I just wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. And that's because, first of all, this is getting very heavy. So it's already going to be a big task to get this out of the shop, first of all. Secondly, we have to walk through the snow, load it on the truck, drive to location, and then it has to go down some stairs. So I do have a dolly I can use. I'm going to have to use some blankets. The other factor is because you have different thicknesses here, just setting it down, it's going to hit certain areas. These are hardwoods, but some of them are softer. Like the butternut is a softer hardwood. Oak is a harder one, but it so happens I got butternut sticking up in a few spots. I also don't want to mark it because hardwoods are hard, but they're not stone either, and even stone you can scratch. So I don't want to mark it up. Now we are going to oil it before it goes to location, but that'll help a little bit, but not a lot. So we got to be protective, and we can't just stand it on the end. Well, we can, but that's some issues too because it's not going to sit flat. These things stick up, so that's going to put more pressure in the center. So it's going to take some work to get it in place, and we can't just fasten the legs. We can't flip it over, fasten the legs like this, and then flip it up right side up because it's going to be really heavy then. These legs are solid. I have filled them right in. Plus the hardwood, they're probably adding another 80 pounds to it. Well, no, it's probably adding more than that. I'm not even sure how much. It's adding a lot of weight. So they're going to have to be sit down. This is gently going to have to sit on top. Probably 4 people are going to have to hold it up while someone's underneath putting the legs in place. And then the weight can sit on here, well, the leg, and then we can screw it in, at least get a screw in each leg before anybody lets go. And even then it's going to be tricky because you're going to want to hold on here, and this is where the leg's going to go. So it's going to be tricky getting this together. So when it comes to the bottom, I need it to be totally separate pieces. And ideally, these pieces that can kind of like fit in, and maybe I envisioned a little latch so they're not screwed into the legs. So it's kind of like pieced together and latched together. So I wasn't sure how to do that, but after sleeping on it and thinking about it yesterday, this part right here that sticks out, when the leg's in place, it sticks out here. That can sit right there. So the leg, this part of the leg, right here, can hold that up. So then we'll have to have something to hold it in this way. So I'm thinking a little latch right here, maybe one on each end even, because I'm thinking the side panels could go in first. One side, the other side. This is after it's flipped over, the legs are on it. So that means we need to be able to slant the side, get it in place, turn it, bring it tight, and then let it down. Of course, this thing's all reversed, but I'll show you if this all works. I'll do a video about that. Then the floor, because it's going to be storage underneath, it needs to have a floor. But the floor is going to be hanging from these sides. So I have some ideas there. Rather than making one big long piece, I'm thinking about 4 panels that set in and maybe 1 screw on each side holding these 2 end pieces together. And then the last thing, these end panels would be the access point. So somehow I want them to like go in and latch in 2 places. But yeah, all this I don't want visible. Like I don't want those latches visible. So it's all got to be done like reaching underneath or something. So I got some ideas on how it might all work. And may all go together and that's just great. So I'm going to continue making the 2 sides. Oh, the other issue is, so when you put this side in place, and I started mocking out the multiple layers, because notice I did show that in the little diagram here. But I didn't put any on yet. So when this goes in place, like such, with the legs, set that down. I don't want, like the legs are here. I want this panel to be in so that you can see clear definition of the leg, and then the panel set back in some. So to do that, I need to put more spacers in here to give more dimension, more 3D effect on it. Okay, a lot to think about, but I think I got a plan now. I really did not yesterday. I spent quite a bit of time thinking about it and wasn't well, at least for 30 minutes, wasn't getting much done. But you got to put the thought into it. So I did a little bit, then I slept on it, and now I feel like I have a better focus on what I am going for and going to do. So let's get these 2 sides together, put the spacers in there, and then I'm going to get a measurement for the base and start building some panels. Okay, I'm gaining. Oh, and that's a good point. So if you get stuck on something, drawing it out can help. Calling it a day, sleeping on it, or switch to another project and think about it and then come back to it. Sometimes you have to be more relaxed to get the creative ideas going. That's just my take on it.